Hey everybody, it's Tony Hoffer. Just wanted to record a quick video. I've been getting a lot of questions about the new Godox and Cheetah 860 version 2 or version X flashes. We received 4 of them this weekend and have tested them out a little bit. And just wanted to give an update and kind of show a few of the features so far so that could answer a few of those questions. I guess first of all, wanted to say I've been really happy with the flashes as far as testing them and everything. They've worked great. Haven't had the chance to use them at a wedding or anything yet, so this isn't really a review, but I'll go over the features and tell you what I'm thinking so far. So these flashes are the update to the original 860, which Cheetah and Godox released for Canon, Nikon, whatever. And the interesting thing about those flashes, the reason so many people like them is they have these awesome lithium batteries. So instead of AA's, they just have this one battery that lasts forever and recycles super fast, and they've been amazing flashes. We used the Canon 600s when we shot Canon. They were good, but we had problems with connectivity sometimes, and the range wasn't great. So we switched to these Godox flashes, which we were super happy with, but we had to use triggers on the bottom. So that was a bit of a trade-off. So I've been anxiously awaiting the new releases from Godox, and so far been very pleasantly surprised. I am crossing my fingers that these work as well as they have here in the office, because if so, these are dream flashes for us. Real quick, before I answer a few of the questions, I'll just hit on the 2 downsides. There's only 2 things so far that I found that I don't really like about the flashes. One is that the assist beam that comes out of the flash isn't as good as a Canon or Nikon assist beam. So if you haven't used a Godox flash before, it creates this little X pattern assist beam, which isn't always on what your focus point is on. So I can't really say we've had focusing issues because of it. It's just not quite as good as the Canon or Nikon. So the other little downside is when you have a slave flash with these new flashes, it beeps or it blinks like this. There's no way of turning off the blink as far as I can tell, so we're just going to end up having to gaff tape the front of it. No big deal again, but I just want to make you aware. Other than that, these flashes have been unbelievably cool. Really excited about them. A few people are asking if they're compatible with pocket wizards, radio poppers, that kind of thing. I would imagine if you put something on them, they would be like a trigger or something, but they're not inherently compatible. The radio system does not, work with them just naturally, as far as I can tell. But it's so awesome, and the flashes are so reasonably priced. I don't know why you wouldn't just buy a bunch of them and use just the flashes. So, just real quick, I want to show you the menu system, show you how they work, and then, I think that should be most of the questions. So, the menu system is very similar to the Canon 600. I'm not sure how well the webcam will focus here, but there's a group button that just allows you to toggle through the different groups. M is for the on-camera flash. There's A, B, C group. And you can hit the plus or minus button just to adjust the power of each group. As soon as you adjust the power on here, your slave flashes get adjusted right away. The only thing I'll tell you, if you buy these flashes and you start setting them up, if you have 2 flashes side by side and you start adjusting one, the power will not adjust, nor will they test fire if they're right beside each other. Probably because of the radio signal. If you move them a foot or 2 apart, they work just fine. So don't be freaked out if your flashes don't seem to be working when you're holding them next to each other. So the menu system is very similar to the Canon system. It works really well. You can't adjust the zoom of your slave flashes, but that's pretty normal, it seems. Other than that, you can adjust them from 1/28 all the way up to full power. And the other thing is, if you hit your group button here, you can just hit mode to turn them to TTL or to turn that group off altogether. So it's actually pretty quick just to turn your group off, and it works well. The group turns off, doesn't fire. And the same thing with your on-camera flash. So if you have a flash on camera and you have slave set up off camera, you can hit the mode button, turn your on-camera flash off, and these still fire. It works really well. It's been super reliable, and I've been really happy with that. So far so good. Everything is working great. The range, been shooting it through my house, through doors, through closed doors, walls, everything. The range has seemed good. Again, we haven't used them in a wedding setting, so fingers crossed that it continues. But so far, it's been really good. I'm just going to set these up real quick and just take a shot or two so you can see. But if we just set up, we have one on channel B, one on channel C, and if we set them up there, we can just hit our test button and they go. And again, we can just select our group. I'm going to just go to group C, hit mode to turn that group back on, and go to manual, and then I can adjust the power all the way up to full power if I want, and then hit test and it's at full power. The one question I was getting asked a lot is how it works with two cameras. So this is actually how we shoot, where I will have two cameras going, Amy will have two cameras going, so we have 4 cameras that are sharing the same slave flashes usually. So I did a test with that, and so basically I set up a flash on one camera, a flash on another camera, and I put the settings different. So on this camera, both of those slaves are set to 1/28th power, and on this camera I'm going to go ahead and set them to 1/4 power. So as you can see, it's pretty quick. I just changed them both to a 1/4 right now. And so the coolest thing I found about these, other than they work really well so far, is that if I'm taking a picture with two cameras, like this, and just going back and forth, the result is that, I don't know if you can even see that, but the result is that it works instantly. So with the other systems, oftentimes if you use multiple cameras and they have different settings, the first photo you take is going to be a dump of the previous photographer's settings, and then it'll kick in with what you have. So far, with these flashes, again, not real world scenario, but just here in the office, when I switch back from camera to camera at different power levels, it actually gives me the proper power level each time on the flash I want it to. So that's been super encouraging. Other than that, I mean, they've worked as advertised, and I'm getting really hopeful that these are the solution we've been looking for. Great, long-lasting lithium battery, radio signal built in, so no triggers, and pretty easy to operate and work well. So fingers crossed that these work real world as well as they do here, but so far so good. If you have any other questions, post them in the YouTube comments, and I will try my best to reply, or can record a new video once we've actually used them and have better feedback on that stuff. Thanks again. See ya.